Hi, this is Kevin Snyder of Snyder Law, and I'm an estate planning elder law planning attorney in Irvine, and I help families plan to protect what matters most to them, their loved ones, their legacy, and their dignity. And today I'd like to share with you a topic that's been coming up a lot recently as we head into the big holiday season, starting with Thanksgiving. I've been fielding a lot of calls from clients about what they can do to prepare as they travel back or host family coming into town and preparing to have conversations with their aging relatives. In particular, I'm reminded of a conversation just the other day with a client who's flying back to Arizona to meet with family, and they're going to be with their 92-year-old grandmother, and she's been in poor health, and he's wondering, what can I do, Kevin, to prepare to go into this Thanksgiving so I can ask the right questions, so I can do the right planning to make sure that grandma is okay. So I thought, wow, what a great thing that we can share with everybody about, because we all have aging relatives, and a lot of us are going to be with them over this holiday season, Thanksgiving or Christmas or New Year's, whatever holidays we are celebrating in the next month and a half, we're likely going to be with some aging relatives. So here's some tidbits to think about that could help prepare yourself going into that. First of all, if you have an aging relative, whether it's a parent or grandparent, aunt, uncle, other family member, and you know in advance that they've been having difficulty, maybe having a conversation with other family members that have been caring for them or are close to them, particularly if you don't live close to those relatives, to get more of the facts about what the situation is going on could help arm yourself better, at least from a knowledge base of, hey, this is what's going on with grandma, with mom, with dad, and so you can be brought up to speed about everything. Also, when you're down there, make sure you have conversations and don't shy away from the conversations with your relative. Ask them how they're doing. Talk about things. Be very upfront, but come from a standpoint of care and compassion. Not that they're doing something wrong or they have to change their lifestyle, but you want to better understand and assess what their needs are. In talking with family, and of course, including your relative, your parent, your grandmother, whomever it is, stress test the crisis plan. What is going to happen in case there's an emergency? If grandma falls and she's been living by herself, and because she's a very independent person, she doesn't want somebody to help her, but if she falls at home, how is anybody going to know about that? What's going to happen if she gets rushed to the hospital because of a sudden illness? What is the crisis plan, the emergency plan? And then you can work yourself backwards. Maybe they had one in place, but it's outdated because those relatives no longer live there. Or they don't have one at all. And you can start putting a plan in place, but having that conversation. Also, if it's a situation where the relative has needs, maybe they need somebody to assist them on a daily basis. Maybe it's for a few hours, maybe it's longer than that. Who's doing that? Is it family, or are there other options? Looking into the other options in that area for your relative. Get educated. You might want to talk to an elder law attorney in that area. A gerontologist is somebody who is familiar working with seniors and can assess the needs and offer resources. There's a lot of resources out there. Unfortunately, they're all fragmented, and the information about the benefits just aren't right in front of us all the time. So talking to an expert who works in the space that can explain the different benefits and also help assess your loved one's needs is going to be crucial in being able to take the next steps forward, which is, of course, understanding what it is you can afford or what they can afford as far as those services. And there's different options available, and looking into everything. I like to say, hey, we want to lay all the cards on the table of the different options so we know what they are, have a firm understanding of what they are, what they entail, what the cost is, and how that's going to work to help our loved one. So don't shy away from things simply because you heard something here and there and you don't have the full information. Get all the cards on the table. Find out what in-home care services are going to cost, what it actually is needed. Find out if your relative is a veteran or is a surviving spouse of a veteran. What kind of VA benefits might be available for that person to help pay for care that they're going to need? What kind of benefits might they be able to be eligible for to receive from Veteran Affairs, the Department of Veteran Affairs. Do the research. Find out if an assisted living is available in the area in close proximity, what the cost is, what the benefits are, if there are other independent living or boarding cares that might be more appropriate given the circumstances, and understand the true value and the cost of all these options. And then you can embark on the conversation of how it is your loved one's going to pay for all of this. What are the financial solutions? It might come in the form of Medi-Cal planning, might come in the form of, or in other states it's the Medicaid program, Medicaid planning. In California we call it Medi-Cal. It might be some VA pension planning. There might be a need for a reverse mortgage in a situation, or your relative has a long-term care policy that you never knew about, but because you had a conversation, you're finding out more information, and that could be of benefit. And review all of these options, of course, with your relative, your loved one, including them into the process. So this isn't something that's being decided for them on the outside and being told that they have to do, of course, as much as possible. It might be that the situation is one of dementia and your parent or grandparent is no longer able to have those conversations. But make sure that if you're not including them because they can't, you are including other family members that are trusted and reliable, so you can have a group conversation about it. It's not one person coming from a standpoint of, I have the solution, I made the decision, and here is what it is, and we're all going to do it this way. That's going to cause a lot of friction. And the time wasted on arguing and friction in order to come up with a solution to care for an aging relative is time not well spent and time lost, and that's not time that your relative has. And lastly, if you still have questions, I really encourage you to research an elder law attorney in the area where your loved one lives and have a meeting with that elder law attorney. You can go by yourself in advance just to get educated more and get more information. We host those meetings all the time with children or grandchildren who have some concerns about their parent or grandparent, and we meet with them first to educate them on the situation and the issues and the process. And then we can have an introduction and a family meeting with everybody. So I encourage you to do that. They're a great resource to be able to discuss with you and inform you of all the things that you just can't know because there's so many things to know out there. So those are some tidbits of what you can do in advance. And again, and lastly, I can't stress enough, have the conversation. Have the conversation with family members. Be as open as possible, and be open with your loved one, whether it's your parent, your grandparent, whatever aging relative it is. Have the conversations, no matter how difficult or perceived difficulty it will be. Trust me, you'll be thankful that you've had the conversation because you can move the ball forward. All right, so again, tips for you as you approach the holiday season. If you have any other questions about what we talked about today, please feel free to reach out. Always happy to be a resource. You can reach me offline by putting a comment or question here in the feed, or you can go to www.asksnyderlaw.com and you can schedule a time to have a conversation with us, and we'd be happy to answer your questions. So again, my name is Kevin Snyder of Snyder Law. I'm an estate planning and elder law planning attorney in Irvine, California. And I hope you all have a very happy Thanksgiving and a great week. I'll be talking to you soon. Take care.